Hi everyone, welcome to another live here at HEN. HEN stands for Her Entrepreneurial Network, a community for women entrepreneurs to inspire, inform, and support each other to build successful businesses alongside leading balanced lives. We are here today with another very interesting entrepreneur today with us who's into the industry which I love the most, that is traveling. We have with us Bhavna. Let me introduce you, Bhavna, and then we can get right into our conversation today.
Sure, Harsha.
Bhavna is the founder of Earthy Hughes. She has 15 plus years of experience in corporate strategy, operations, talent acquisition, and travel curation. With a deep love for meaningful travel, she founded Earthy Hughes in 2019 to design personalized journeys that connect travelers with nature, culture, and communities. Her focus on regenerative travel and commitment to sustainable and community driven experiences, in fact, led to the incubation at IIMB NSR Cell as well. Bhavna, I'm super excited to talk to you about travel and all the experiences that you have. Welcome to this live here with us.
Thank you, Harsha. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. And good evening to everybody who is online with us today. Travel is something which excites me always. So, I am all in, and you can ask me.
Super, Bhavna. Bhavna, I remember when we started talking around 2.5 years back, you had the story of how Earthy you started and you became an accidental entrepreneur by chance, right? Can you deep dive into how Earthy you started and why travel today, and when there's so much other travel happening, why Earthy use today?
Travel is something which I have been passionate about since my childhood. So when I was very small, so I used to wait for these summer vacations and to go on those trips. And during that time, those train journeys and all, they were so fascinating. I used to wait to see those fireflies at night when the train was passing by in the fields and all. So as I grew up, that passion deepened more. But as you say that whatever you want, and I would not have even thought that travel is my calling or something. So as a normal upbringing and all, I got into corporates, and I spent some time over there. But then I got a chance to move to Africa, and it is there where my passion further deepened after seeing that wilderness, that raw beauty. So then I thought that why not I give it a try, because when I used to come back from my trips, then my friends and families, they wanted me to curate travels for them. So they used to come to me and ask them that what they should be doing or where they should be going. So I thought, why not give it a professional touch? And that is how it started. Over there I got into travels, but then it was not my own enterprise. I got associated with somebody, and I was working with her on revenue sharing basis. Now then we moved to India, and when I moved back to India, then it was I still continued to work with my mentor in that travel industry. But things started becoming complicated in terms of the legal complexities, finances and all, because in India government and RBI is very, very strict in terms of the outward remittances, payments and all those things. So
Correct.
due to that financial complexities, uh, my mentor said, why don't you set up your own entity, and then you still be associated with me, but open up your own entity. And that is how it started, because I had never dreamt of that I will be an entrepreneur, and I am more of a worker. Having said that, being an entrepreneur, that was one thing. And then another thing which I would say I had never dreamt of or even aspired to be part of, I am Bangalore
Yeah.
NSR cell for getting incubated. So that in my wildest dreams I would have never thought about it. and I got a chance. So,
Yeah.
and it is a very interesting story that in 2022, um, there was a last date to fill the submit my application, and we got to know about this incubation program through hen again.
Right.
And one of my friends, Achal, so
Yeah.
she again, I met her through hen and we are very close friends. So I
Yeah.
told her, then Achal, let's fill up this form. So she said, no, it never nothing materializes ever, so just let's leave it. I said, no, just let's fill it. At the max, what will happen? We will not get through, that is it. But to our surprise, both of us got into, and we completed that incubation. And the icing on the cake was that I was even able to get two phases of grants. So that
Oh,
was, yes, that was, you would say, I will not say, like I said, it was not even a dream,
yeah.
but a very good accomplishment, I would say. And more than that, getting the grants, the when PGEP students work on our venture along with us to help us increase the revenue, that is an added bonus. So
Yeah.
that is the kind of exposure and the support you get from the network.
Brilliant. This is amazing, right? Like, first accidental entrepreneur,
Yes.
then deciding with a fellow entrepreneur, let's just dive into it. Whatever comes, let that happen. But let's give this a chance. Bhavna, I'm sure that didn't come easy. It did take a lot of courage even from you to fill that application, get through the program, and kudos for getting those grants for you and your firm, right? Um, but tell me something more, Bhavna. Today there are so many travel, so many travel companies, so many travel firms. There is something about earthy use that is different, I'm sure. Can you explain to me and everyone who's watching here what's the true meaning of personalization in travel that you talk about earthy use?
Right. So when we talk about early hues, so we say customized and personalized travel. So mostly what we see that these days people book online, so there are so many online portals, and people are that much tech savvy that they can go and well educated and well informed that they can book their trips themselves. But what happens, there is no human touch in between, and this
Mm,
we have realized during the time of COVID. So many bookings were done through Make My Trip and few other booking portals, and when you call up you are not connected to anybody. I mean, you will just keep on switching from option to option in IVR, trying to connect to that one specific person who can help you either reschedule or cancel, but there is nobody to answer. The
yeah.
only way you will be directed to a website where your issues will not be resolved. So that human touch is what I feel is very important. Me being a part of travel industry, even if I have to plan myself, I will not go and book online. Even though I would know the things, I feel more comfortable in speaking to the local people over there and
Mm,
finding what is more appropriate. Now, when we say personalization, so there will be different requirements for different type of travelers, because
correct.
a family, yes, there could be a family who is traveling with small kids. They will have an entirely different type of requirements,
Yeah.
whereas a family who is traveling with their friends. So now, if all middle-aged people or young adults are traveling, their travel plans will be entirely different. The itineraries will be totally different. If with children you are traveling, then one needs to understand that the drives from one place to other should not be too
Correct.
long.
Correct.
Children get cranky. There should be some stoppages in between where they can get or buy something, some kind of a snacks or something to feed the child. Yes,
Correct.
I agree that you have to carry those snacks and all those things, but still children, they will say, I'm getting bored. So you
Yeah.
have to match that expectation. So I mean, a family with a very small children, you cannot send them to Bhutan, for example, because then they will get cranky. They will not like those long drives. Parents might like it, but if the kid is unhappy,
They
then
struggle to
altogether
get
your vacation goes for a toss.
right.
Similarly, if you are traveling with an elderly person, then you have to be very mindful that in what type of vehicle they are going,
Hmm.
what is the mode of transport and all, whether the leg space and all those will be comfortable or not, how much walking is involved in that particular destination, because it is quite possible that they might be fit, but at a stretch they might not be able to walk long distances.
Right.
So that is where personalization comes into picture, because whenever any of our clients contact us, first we try to understand the family dynamics, we try to understand how many nights they have at their disposal. For example, if they can spend only 4 nights and they still want to do an international destination, say for example Vietnam, so we would not suggest that you go to Vietnam and just touch, it will be just touch and go. You will
Hmm.
not be able to cover the places because it has so much to offer. And if you have to cover all three, like North, Central, and South Vietnam, you will require at least not less than 10 days to 14 days if you want to cover it all. So, accordingly, according to the requirements, we can guide them. That is where we come into picture, because any online portal will not guide you into these small details.
That's absolutely right. I think when Gunjan agrees with that, saying a very thoughtful approach, especially knowing and understanding your client's requirements and then suggesting. I don't think any online portal can help you into such detailing, right? Bhavna, tell me some instance that you've had with any traveler, right? And say, God forbidden, something has happened and things like that. How do you then navigate all this? Any examples in your experience so far?
Uh, yes, I have a couple of examples to share.
Yeah.
So, one I'll share during the Sikkim floods, and that was Sikkim floods which happened out of the blue. I mean, in October, you cannot expect flood in Sikkim, and that time it happened because of a cloudburst. So our guests were there, and when the news started coming, so in the morning I was in a meeting, and then the messages started coming from my ground handling team in Sikkim that there are floods which have happened, and the route we might have to reroute the itinerary of the guests. So I said, which is okay, I will inform them. So he said, you might not be able to reach out to them because they are in no network zone as of now. So I
Oh,
said,
wow.
okay. By afternoon, when we started seeing the news and media and all, then it we started getting a little bit scared because we were not in touch with the guests. We tried to contact the hotels where they were supposed to be. We were not able to get in touch because all the connectivity, there was no connectivity at all. We were not able to reach out. Even the hotel owners who were based in the city down there, they were also not able to know from the staff, also they were not able to connect that what is happening. And in that scenario, somehow I tried to find the contact details of the family member of those clients.
Oh,
This was a couple who had traveled. So
right.
through one of their friends, I got the family details. And then what we did, we just tried to keep them calm, and constant updates we were providing them. And the local team over there was on continuous calls with a helpline number. And because during those times of crisis the helplines are so busy, it is
Correct.
very difficult to get through one. Then after a day or two we got to know that okay, army is taking over and then they will be rescued. So expect a call from army or some information from them. And everywhere the local team had been sharing the information, their photos, their details in the police stations, everywhere where they can to find the whereabouts.
Wow.
And the communication was totally cut off. Finally, what happened? We received the first list from the army, and it showed the number of the brother of the guests. So then we got a sigh of relief that okay, everything is fine. I'm getting goosebumps now. So
Yeah.
everything is fine. They are fine because they would army could not have got their brother's number. So we
Correct.
knew that everything was in place. And then that when they told that, so the army officials, they only said that please inform the families that they will get 2 minutes to talk to their families through satellite phones. So please tell
Wow.
them not to keep the phones busy, keep the phones free, they might call on any number. So now when we are giving this information to the family is saying that okay, we will tell everybody to keep their phones free and take calls from unknown numbers, because we do not know which number they will call, which they will remember. So
Oh,
now
yes.
imagine, these days we do not remember any phone numbers, all the contacts are in the phone book. So it was a takeaway also for us that please, you need to have an emergency contact number of the person not traveling together, and also at least remember two numbers in case of such emergencies.
Wow.
So finally they were airlifted and evacuated. Even after that, to bring them to from that place where they were airlifted, um, to the location where we can make them fly out. So that
Correct.
was also a very tedious task to figure out the routes, because of this over flooding, the roads had been washed out. And roads, I mean, the route was very, very long and all those. So by keeping in touch with the families constantly, with the support of the local team and the local connects, we were able to maneuver through this information. I mean, this situation. Uh, and again, they came back, I would not say happily, but we were very happy and relieved to see them back. So that was
Absolutely.
a bonus for us.
My God, Bhavna, like the story itself shows the kind of commitment, or like how Gargi rightly said, right? It shows how much you truly care to take care up to that level when someone is traveling with you, right? And going that extra mile for your client, exactly like what Lakshita is saying, is absolutely a remarkable trait. So it's very impressive, Bhavna. And like now I truly understand what
Thank you.
personalized travel means versus booking online and figuring things out.
Right.
But Bhavna, so this is like I understand that it's a couple that you had arranged travel plans for,
Yeah.
and you do group curations as well. Do you also at Earthy use any corporate tours that you're already taking or in the venture of taking? How's that business expanding for you?
Yes. So with I mean, in Africa, we have done a lot of corporate tours organized, and for a pharmaceutical giant. So all their distributors meet, the sponsored trips of the doctors, their annual meets, and all that we have done extensively. But how dynamics work over there and how it works in India, it is very different. So in India, recently we have started venturing out into the corporate sector, and recently we organized a corporate retreat for about 114 people. And
Wow.
how it happened that we got this inquiry, and we had to share the proposal for 2 nights of their corporate retreat. So it was their annual meeting, annual review meeting, come some relaxation and some leisure time. So then the team bonds together. So this specific corporate is based in Delhi, and half of their employees are based there, and rest of the employees are located in 10 different states within India. And we had to find a venue so that travel is comfortable and travel to a specific location. And this inquiry we got during the peak wedding season, when everywhere it is full, and finding a property which will accommodate so many people at a decent rate, that itself is a task. And but having said that, we did not give up. We were able to find again here a lot of collaboration and connections come into picture. We were able to get availability at a very good rate at Jim Corbett, and that is where we planned the retreat. And they were so impressed by the rates, and they could not even directly get those kind of rates while contacting the hotels. And it was a lot of requirements because we had to make people travel from 10 different states and half of the team from Delhi. And what started with a 2 nights kind of a retreat, it landed up into 5 nights because they were so impressed. And so
Amazing.
everybody, yes, so they had different arrival times, different arrival dates also, and different departure timings. So that was at the back end, it was a lot of effort for us booking their jeep safaris, the lighter evening engagements, like arranging for the guitarist DJ kind of a night, a cultural night for them, their jeep safaris. And jeep safaris also based on the lot, that whosoever is arriving till a specific date will go out on the next day morning, and bringing them back on time so that they don't miss on the conferences. So not only that, they were very particular about certain things in terms of the property and all. They were very particular, for example, female safety,
Right.
then lighting in the passages,
Yeah.
the doorknobs. So finding a suitable option for them was also not easy. It was also, you had to explore many things in terms of the vehicles. In
Yeah.
apart from they being comfortable, uh, placing the first aid boxes with the basic medications. Not only that, having a little bit of snacks or water, all those small details. So there is a lot of detailing which goes into it. But when they come back satisfied, it is worth the effort and the time that goes into it. And it was a retreat which the country had said, this is the best retreat ever. So hearing those kind of compliments, I mean, keeps you going.
Absolutely kudos to the efforts that you take in, when it's, even if it's like a, I'm saying, like a couple who you had sent to Sikkim, to 119 corporate group that comes from different parts of the country,
Yes.
and you being able to execute this keeping the customer in mind, right? And I think that's true for any business, and travel particularly, of course. But I think overall, my entire takeaway from the conversation is how important the customer is. And
Right.
listening to the customers then drives you doing things that you would want to do for your business. Like I think everyone, Lakshita, Priyanka, Gargi, all of us are in awe of what you do at Earthy Hughes. Um,
Thank
Bhavna, so before we end this, I want to ask you one last question about you know um, now you became an entrepreneur. For you, hen community happened, NSR cell happened. You are an entrepreneur at heart because customer is in your heart. Um, what is it that you feel like today as an entrepreneur that you would love to tell our audience about? Like there's one thing that an entrepreneur should have in themselves to keep them going. Any learning from your experience so far?
Yes, I mean, there are a lot of learnings, but two very important things for me, and which I practice them also, is one, networking is very, very important. Collaborations, they work very well. So, without collaborations in this world, you cannot do half of the things, and you cannot have this big team that you are able to handle. You are self sufficient, that is near to almost not achievable. So, and you have to invest time in nurturing those relationships, otherwise any kind of a networking group doesn't work. So just joining any of the networking groups and saying that I'm part of a networking group and things will work out for me, it doesn't happen. You have to invest time into it, and that is how things start working. Otherwise, not. And another thing which I feel which keeps me going at times, because everybody has during their journey those highs and lows and all. So whenever it becomes really, really tough, I mean, we should think that why I started, what was the reason why I started, and that keeps you again back on the track. And then you are there to do why you were there and to achieve and to attain great heights. So
Brilliantly told, Bhavna. Something I
yeah.
completely resonate with you. Networking is just not about make, like, having, like, getting business. It's
Right.
about building those relationships that value throughout, right? Like today,
Right.
touchwood, via N, I've not just, like, not just done business, but I've built this beautiful relationship, like, say, with you or with any other women entrepreneur on Hen today. And
Right.
I truly resonate with everything that you're saying. And I'm like how someone just pointed out, Hen, networking is about building relationships.
Very
uh,
true, because I have got my some of my best friends from Hen. So
Correct.
Achal, you, Sonali. So there are so many, Tanushri, even Pallavi. So all these people, they have become such a good friend, and they have. I mean, any advice I see, I have to. I reach out to people. I might reach out to Gunjan. I might ask Pallavi, or I might anytime I can call Sonali or Achal and I can discuss that here where I'm stuck and please. So
Correct.
now Sonali, me, and Achal have become such close friends. So it is not only that work we talk about, our families also know each other. So it is a kind of a now, what do you say, a real friend from years. And how, I mean, just down the line, 3 years, we know each other. And it
Absolutely.
seems like we know each other from ages, and we understand by looking at the expressions, we understand that there is something not right.
Yeah, a fellow entrepreneur understanding another fellow entrepreneur
Yes.
comes from the heart.
Yeah.
Bhavna, this entire conversation with you has been so inspiring for me personally on many levels. Biggest takeaways is customer is the king. Always listen to a customer. Personalization in travel. Today, I've understood how important it is. So, you are getting a new customer today. But nevertheless, thank you so much for doing this with us. And you've gotten a lot of love from the audience as well. And I hope that you keep continuing to do this and spreading the enough love and joy with all of us. But thank you again.
Thank you, Harsha. Thank you, everyone. It was really a pleasure. Thank you.
Bye. Have a great evening,
Bye.
everyone.